I run past here?
Hey, maybe spare some chinian?
Sorry, pal. All I got are hundreds.
Hey, that'd work.
Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Locked. 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 Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. See you later, Howie. Nothing even remotely interesting, but hell, if I was going to root through trash, my expectations weren't too high. Yuck. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Totally uninteresting. Locked. Locked.
The chance to begin again in a golden land of opportunity and adventure.
McCoy, LPD.
Rumor has it you've been earning your stripes, McCoy.
Working on it.
Keep it up. You just might have a future in this business.
I understand it's got a hell of a retirement plan.
You VK the mark before retirement?
Didn't have to.
That's why they call it the magic.
I'm starting to understand.
You ever retire a human, your career is over. Remember that. I checked with UN Air. Looks your rep swung that moonbus massacre last month.
They ever find the moon bus?
Disappeared into thin air. Brian thinks it crashed out in the Kipple.
How many reps we talking about?
Enough. They're Nexus 6s. So don't take too much slack.
Gotcha. Yuck. Yuck.
Your floor number, please.
Apartments.
McCoy, 88F.
88. Thank you.
I lived with the best gal I'd ever seen. She was 2 now and full of life and love. She'd cost me about a year's salary, but she was worth it. It was good to have someone warm nearby after completing a dirty job, and the retirement swag from this case would go toward getting her a partner. Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Maggie, come here, girl. Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Run sitter, crime scene.
Muddy boots. Guess he's from out of town. Give me a hard copy of that.
Run sitter, crime scene.
It's some kind of insect. Give me a hard copy of that. Zubin was the first Nexus 6 I'd come up against. There was something in his eyes, an almost primordial desire to live. Most of the 3s, 4s, and 5s I'd seen would just give up when you had them. But these 6s, they were a whole other breed. I'm in demand.
Violent street crime in the city rose again last year by a whopping 26%, according to the latest figures from the Department of Justice. Governor Kolvig attributed the change to the dramatic increase in the number of specials registered as city residents and promised a tough new set of standards for the City Immigration Bureau by next month.
Portrait of the sleep-deprived.
Got your delivery here, man.
What?
Kingston Kitchen.
Oh, yes, right. Hold on.
Is this what the gravity be like on Mars?
Oh, no. It's about a third of what we got here on Terra. Real comfy. How about turning that dial, okay? When I say...
Please, can you control your rat?
I'll have you know that Ricky's a purebred Chihuahua, and he's totally real.
Things going good at Tyrell Corporation?
Boring, boring. Old man Tyrell's been on a Wagner kick lately. He never shuts up.
You also do outside work?
Sweetie, I never go outside. It's bad for the glands.
How about Nexus 6? You know a lot about them?
I think you should be going now.
Understand good, it holds deep meaning for me now. Where be your research on Nexus 6? And your test studies, contacts, the works?
Only simulator. Extraterrestrial gravity.
One more minute, you be swallowing this explosive. 3 more minutes, they be hosing you off the True Life building across town.
No, I swear. I don't have anything. If I did, I'd give it to you.
My people sick and dying. You tell me something.
Talk to Dr. Tyrell.
Tell me something I don't know.
The organ designers, Miraji, Hannibal Chu, Luther and Lance. They're closer to him than I am.
Where?
DNA Row. They're all working down on DNA Row. No.
You one miserable package, man.
No! No, please, don't!
Pick up.
Hope you aren't camped out there with a bottle of tequila.
Oh, very funny.
Early bird slays the worm, McCoy.
Don't worry, I'm up, Lieutenant. What's the buzz?
One of Tyrell's employees got his fat face splattered all over the marble interior of the Tyrell building.
Inside?
That's right. But we also got a sweet little break on it. Tyrell's surveillance system recorded the whole shebang.
Beautiful. How many perps?
Just one. I don't know if it's related to the Runciter deal or not. Tyrell security will have the disc for you when you get there. You'll be good, killer.
Here you go, baby. Dinner time. Here you go, baby. Dinner time.
Your floor number, please.
Roof.
McCoy, LPD.
Just a minute.
Where do I go?
Grub test on the east wing, 66th floor. Here's the footage from the security cameras. You get a pretty good look at the man's face.
How'd he get past you guys?
He pretended to be a delivery man. Dr. Eisenduler ordered in a lot, so it didn't seem unusual.
I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
Someone had tried to access a bunch of protected files on the Tyrell network and failed, not just once, but a dozen times. Tyrell engineers might forget their passwords, but what would the GravLab boys need with replicant DNA sequences and incept dates? The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Jesus.
I seen worse, but not by much.
Learn anything?
You could strain him through a sieve.
A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. I'd seen more dead animals than live ones in the last 24 hours, and now it was dogs. 3 of them. I thought about Maggie and nearly threw up. Obviously, he'd been killed with an explosive, and not just because he'd been plastered on the wall with 1,000 strokes. The detonator wire I pulled out of his skull told the whole story. The killer was an expert. The charge had been big enough to do the job, but not big enough to shatter the soundproof walls of the float chamber. But I wondered why the killer didn't just shoot him. This earring yours?
Maybe it belonged to that other cop who was up here. The babe with the shades and the cigarettes.
Ain't her style. Call her babe to her face, you're liable to end up with a severe limp. You spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
You spot anything you think I ought to know about, tell me.
Absolutely.
Disgusting.
Lagging behind again?
Gouza didn't say anything about me working with a partner.
Oh, in a pig's ass, Slim. No, I'm following up on my own. Could be it's linked to this Tyrell debacle.
How's yours connected to mine?
I'm still fitting the pieces together. You know the Moonbus massacre that went down last month?
Gaff mentioned something about it.
The rogue skin jobs probably flew to Earth. And one of them is a demolitions expert, similar MO to your Vic upstairs.
Hell of a coincidence.
I'll call you if I find out anything more about your case.
You friendly with Eisenduler?
Most of the employees I see coming in morning and night, but old Marcus, Dr. Eisenduler, he almost never left his lab.
He afraid of somebody?
I think it had something to do with the air outside, and the germs. I once heard him complain about it.
Smart. What was his job?
Grub test chief engineer. The lab runs tests to see how a replicant would perform in different planetary gravitational fields. That kind of thing. One of the other engineers could tell you more.
You know if anyone lost an earring like this one lately?
Not one of the employees, that's for sure. The boss enforces a strict dress code around here.
How did Eisendoller's moo-moo fit in?
Hey, you know, company rules only apply to the lesser mortals.
How do I get in to see the big boss?
You don't, unless he wants to see you.
Okay. How do I make him want to see me?
Well, you could call his personal assistant.
Who is?
Don't know offhand.
Yeah, I get the picture. You know anything about Tyrell's computer system?
Security is tight as a drum, if that's what you're asking.
Somebody tried to access restricted data from the terminal in Dr. Eisendoller's office.
But they couldn't get in.
Yeah. Looks like Dr. Tyrell keeps his files safer than he keeps his employees. I may have more questions for you later on.
Yes, sir.
Ground floor. Mainframe and shooting range.
During his last election campaign, Governor Kolvig promised a bold new plan of action.
Scanning video disk. One enhanceable image found. Adding enhanceable photographs to Kaya database. Tyrell Grav Test Lab.
A bomb. Give me a hard copy of that. The dog collar has a name on it. Ricky, maybe? Give me a hard copy of that. A takeout box from Kingston Kitchens. Give me a hard copy of that. The earring was shaped like an insect. I didn't know much about jewelry, but it looked like junk to me, like the cheap crap sold at the stands and shops of Anemoid Row. Give me a hard copy of that.
Uploading personal clue database. Downloading mainframe clue database. Clue database transfer complete.
Old copies of case files, notices, and memos. The usual station junk.
Lockup.
Are they letting me out?
I'm not the one who makes that decision.
I suppose it's my turn to bear the cross for the cause.
You're Spencer Gregorian, right?
No. I really think my lawyer should be here.
I got some more questions for you. Tell me about your protest at Tyrell's plant.
I already told that other detective everything. Under duress.
I want to know about the people who were there. The Rastafarian and the Asian guy with the sunglasses.
I didn't know the Rastafarian. The Asian fellow was one of our ex-members. Izo was his name.
How long did you know him for?
Let's see. I met him about 5 years ago. He seemed so smart and balanced. He really wanted to help the replicant people.
Then what?
He started associating with the more militant factions. I was astounded when I heard he was supplying weapons to some of them.
What kind of weapons?
Guns so new that even the police had hardly used them, I heard.
Hey!
You're horning in on my action, rookie. Take a stroll.
I got some more questions for you. Lot of people involved in your cause? Spencer?
Yes, sir, we're growing fast. As more and more people realize that replicants have cognitive and emotional legitimacy, the Citizens Against Replicant Slavery will spearhead the movement towards...
Save the pitch for someone who gives a shit.
We're peaceful people, Detective. We live by a code that men like you could never understand.
Try me.
2 centuries ago, humans were held in slavery. Brave souls formed an underground railroad.
So, you help replicants escape the city.
I'm talking figuratively, Detective.
Sure you are.
We're not children, Detective. We have resources. The world is changing. People are waking up to the injustices perpetrated by a sick society that you have helped...
A lot of them will wake up dead if reps are allowed to run amok on Terra, jerk. What do you know?
0 that would interest you, Detective.
What do you know?
0 that would interest you, Detective.
Ground floor.
Hey, pal.
Mainframe and shooting range. Laboratory.
You know who deals in insects down here?
You don't want insects? They're no good companion. But fish. Fish are good. I have every kind of fish for you. Blowfish, dorado, miniature sailfish. Very friendly.
No, thanks. I got a dog at home.
Fish just as good as dog.
No, my dog is real.
Real? Oh, you must make lots of money.
Let's get back to insects. Official LPD business.
Down that end of Animal Row, you see big green sign? You try there. Good luck with dog, friend. Hope he stays healthy.
She. Hey.
Get lost. We both got work to do.
I got some new leads, Lieutenant.
Get lost. We both got work to do.
McCoy, LPD. Does this badge mean anything to you? Excuse me. Excuse me, pal. I got a couple of questions for you, Captain.
First one's on the house. The rest you pay for. You want chit-chat, you hire a hooker. This ain't no social club.
Excuse me. Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one. Pour me one.
Just one?
One, but one good one.
Step up. Mama Isabella cook you something special. Put a glow in your cheek.
McCoy, LPD. Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Questions? They always need answers.
This guy work for you?
No, but I wish he do. He be one fine-looking man.
You sure? Never seen him before.
I'd remembered him for sure.
That stew's looking tasty.
Fix you right up. Only dirty chinion. It put a spring in your step, man. The ladies, they be loving you.
You send a lot of deliveries over to Marcus Eisendaler at the Tyrell building?
Eisendaler. Oh, Eisendaler, yeah. Let me tell you, that man can't eat.
Send anything over lately?
No, sir. No deliveries to him no more. Not since last month. He be way behind on his bill.
Not for a month, eh?
At least. No more till him pay up.
You may have a little trouble collecting. He's dead. Thanks for your time. This your work?
Ah, the dragon.
Dragon?
See? And a Soptera. Dragonfly late of the American South Swampland.
You sell jewelry with dragonflies?
Item like that, very special significance. Very rare, senor. State item, and most likely part of large collection. Person must have plenty of money to obtain a collection.
More than I can afford.
You try Hawker's Circle. Might want to trade for this. With luck, you may find.
If this is from a collection, I'm also looking for the other pieces.
I make you a deal. I found out where to get dragonfly jewelry. Then you buy a piece, right? For special lady friend? You come back later.
I'll do that.
You take care, chasing the dragon. Handsome man like you has lady friend, of course.
All my girl cares about is food and love.
Oh, how romantic. What is this girl's name?
Maggie.
Maggie. Ah, Maggie, senor. It's perfect, is it not?
It's kind of ugly, but you talked me into it. You hear anything yet about that dragonfly jewelry, like what I showed you before?
No, senor. My friend, he's asking for me. If you come back later, maybe I know something more.
Are you taking any drugs?
Might I interest you in a snake, noble one?
Not today, thanks. You know anything about insects?
I regret that I do not, noble one, save that I feed them to my snakes.
You do what?
Artificial ones, of course. The safeguards in the design of my snakes would not allow them to swallow a real insect.
I assume that this insect is already extinct.
They all died after the war, yes.
So the fakes must be pretty expensive.
If bought in bulk, the price is acceptable. They do not need to eat them, of course, but the added realism is worth every penny. Have you ever seen such craftsmanship?
Right now I'm more interested in the insect.
Perhaps you should ask the Peruvian woman next door. She's an expert on such things and will cut a wonderful deal to friends.
I need to ask you...
Certainly the LPD must have better things to do than to question a humble merchant over and over again about the same things. Why aren't you out arresting criminals like that disreputable Bob fellow?
Bob?
He owns the armament shop up the street. He's insane, noble one, insane. He takes peculiar pleasure in agitating all the vendors around here. I cannot even go out for a Shisco whoop without worrying whether Bob is going to sabotage my snakes.
Thanks for your time. Excuse me, pal. Excuse me, pal. You got anything that's a match for these? Excuse me, pal.
That a 45 blaster under your coat, or you just happy to be here?
You got good eyes.
They ought to be. They're the only organs of mine that survived the Phobos Wars intact.
Ray McCoy, Rep Detect.
Blade Runner, huh?